Welcome back. There is a shocking new study out of Florida. Researchers have found elevated levels of human prescription drugs in the fish that are swimming in our oceans. And it is not just a few fish, nor a few drugs. The research team tested 93 fish, and every single one of them had some kind of human pharmaceutical drugs in the system. That means antidepressants, blood pressure meds, prostate treatments, birth control pills, you name it, whatever's in your med cabinet. So what are the chances that the fish on your dinner plate or in the sandwich you're about to eat might be full of prescription drugs that you are absolutely not supposed to take? I am joined by Wendy Schmidt. She is the president and co-founder of the Schmidt Family Foundation and the Schmidt Ocean Institute. Thank you so much for joining me, Wendy. What do you make of this really disturbing find? I'm a layperson. You know a lot more about this than I do. Should I be concerned about this?
Well, we should all be concerned about this. It's very upsetting news. Nobody wants to read headlines like this. But on the other hand, it shouldn't really surprise us because everything we do on land and every human system ends up in the ocean eventually. The oceans have pretty much been under attack for the last 100 years.
So what do we do about the notion that these are bonefish and tarpon that were tested in this particular study, Wendy, and those are not fish that are normally eaten. So should we all breathe a big sigh of relief? Or if there's drugs in the bonefish and the tarpon, should we just assume there's drugs in all the fish?
I think you can assume there are drugs in all the fish, and all human runoff ends up in the oceans. Our systems were not designed to prevent it, and that's the problem. Right? We can go back 100 years and say the ocean is under attack from many industrial systems, including the pharmaceutical industry. It's not a surprise. The question is, what do we do about it?
Well, that's a great question, because when I see a statistic that every fish had the drugs and one fish had 17 prescription drugs in its flesh, I mean, that to me is there anything that can be done? Are we past the point of no return? Like, what can we do?
I think we need a new...
Oh, darn. Did Wendy freeze? Dang it. You know, every so often that happens. We do this via Zoom, and our guests are, they have to deal with the bugaboos of Wi-Fi just like everybody else. So, Wendy, I think we have you back. And the last thing I was hearing you say was what we can possibly do about this.
Yes, I'm sorry, the interruptions. I'm saying that we need a new relationship with the ocean systems. It is our life support system, and everything we do on land affects the ocean. And we need to rethink our manufacturing and our industries into a more circular design that is not designed to waste and not designed to pollute. And that's the problem we're dealing with now across the board, from plastics to pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I didn't even go, into plastics. That's a whole other segment you'll have to join me for. But with regard to the amount of prescription meds that are, in the ocean and the runoff now, is this reversible, or is this a public campaign where it's like, stop flushing your drugs and stop putting them down the sink, or is there more to it than this?
Well, next week, June 8th, is World Ocean Day, and it might be a really good time to bring this issue up in the broader context of the human relationship with our life support system in the ocean. So, okay, in that respect, is it the kind of marketing message that might be more palatable to say, in this study, it wasn't just that they found prescription drugs in the fish. They also found that the fish that had the prescription drugs in their system were listless and less inclined to hunt and eat. So we're actually destroying our food supply, meaning it's not just a dirty food supply. There may not be a food supply. That's a lot more dire. There are many dire facts, in fact, that we are changing the chemistry of the ocean in this. Oh, dang. What's going on in California? I've been hearing about the power outs that might be rolling, but I don't think we're there yet. We've lost Wendy another time with her connection. But as she mentioned, in the next week or so, there's going to be a little bit more focus on world oceans. And if you're watching this and you feel concerned, you can do something. We all have a voice and we all have power. You can join an organization. You can actually look up Wendy's Foundation. You can be a part of that. You can stop, putting your Advil down the sink. Let's just start at a microcosmic level, right? But that should be distressing to all of us, folks, that this is actually happening. And that's just one study with 93 fish.
But like we said before, if it's those 93, we can only imagine that there are more. Wendy, I think you're back with us. Do you have a closing thought on this? We lost you just after you were talking about the World Ocean Day that's coming up in June.
I'll try to stay connected. New time in human.
We're losing you again. Hey, aren't you married to a tech guy? What's going on with your Wi-Fi, girl?
That's right.
Oh, heavens. Okay, I think we have you back. Go ahead. Start again.
I think we are in an age when we have the ability to see and understand systems on the earth that we never could before, and using technology to do that. And we need to use these things to show us a world humans have never seen, and how most of life on Earth is actually under the surface of the ocean. It's not the trees and flora and fauna that you and I see. It's something we've yet to discover, and it's very precious.
It is. And, when you were frozen for a hot minute there, I was talking to the audience about how each and every one of us can actually do something. Even on a microcosmic level, we can just stop throwing things down the sink. But then they can also get involved with, organizations like yours. You're the co-founder of the Schmidt Family Foundation and the Schmidt Ocean Institute. And I would highly recommend people do the Google and check it out and find out, what people can do to be a part of the solution instead of, dining on the problem. Hey, Wendy, thank you so much. I hope you'll come back.
I will. Thanks so much, Ashleigh.
You're going to fix your Wi-Fi first, though, right? Wendy Schmidt joining us live from California. And yes, she's going to come back and it'll be just fine. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.